Hello, welcome to my first ever Football Manager experiment video. In today's episode, we're going to be seeing how Benik Afobe does with his latest move to Bournemouth. Now, in real life, he's pretty much 99% confirmed to be going to Bournemouth from Wolves. He's one of the hottest properties, you would say, in terms of Championship players. And he's got the move that he wants. He's been saying he wants to make the next step up and play Premiership football. So we're going to be seeing how he does in terms of, as I said, playing for Bournemouth. We'll have a look and track how Bournemouth do in the course of the seasons. I'm possibly going to do 2 seasons, maybe 3, depending on how long the episodes are. But in terms of his attributes on here, he's got every attribute you would want for having either a complete forward or a poacher. He's a very, very quick player, lots of pace, good acceleration. His finishing, his dribbling, his first touch is really, really good. His technique is good. There's a few things he needs to work on, but at the age of 22, he's got a lot of time to do that. He's valued at $7.5 million. In terms of his career, it really didn't kick off until his loan move to MK Dons. So within a very, very short period of time, he's managed to get himself the move that he wanted after originally starting his career off at Arsenal. As I said, what I'm going to do now is forward 1 season, see how Afobe gets on, have a look at his stats and see if they've improved much over time. And as I said, just see if he can help Bournemouth stay in the Premier League. So I'll see you in a few seconds. So here we are, we're back after the first season of Benik Afobe playing at Bournemouth. Let's have a quick look at his stats to see how he's got on. So he's scored a combined total of 15 goals in terms of league and cup competitions for Bournemouth. He's also managed to get himself a couple of goals on the international scene, so we'll see at what level he's been playing at. But yeah, so 14 goals in 33 games, 1 assist and an average rating of 6.81. So he's done quite well considering it's his first major season in the Premier League. He hasn't had a huge amount of actual games, to be honest, other than the 2 recent spells with MK Dons and with Wolves. So 14 goals, I'd say that's quite a good return. He's now 23 years old. So yeah, he's played 4 games for Congolese. That's interesting. So 4 goals with 7 caps for them. So he's obviously going to have quite a good level and career with that national team. His stats, as you could probably tell, have improved quite a bit actually. His pace has gone up, his strength's gone up, his finishing has improved, his composure has improved, determination has improved. He's on course to become a very, very, very good player for Bournemouth. Now, did his goals keep Bournemouth up? Let's have a look. So not only did they keep them up, they kept them up and done more. A fantastic campaign for Bournemouth, finishing in 7th place. They've done really, really well. On my sort of levels that I do, they either just about to survive or they go down. They never normally finish this high up. So has he contributed towards that? Let's have a look at their actual squad and see in terms of their goals scored. So yeah, he was joint top goal scorer with Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson obviously is the main striker at Bournemouth, but those two could form quite a good partnership if they could get them on the pitch at the same time. 15 goals between them in the same amount of appearances, so he's done just as well as Callum Wilson. In terms of other cup competitions, how well have Bournemouth done? So they got knocked out of the Capital One in the 2nd round, so that's quite disappointing. And they got knocked out of the FA Cup 5-0 by Chelsea, so again, that's quite disappointing. But they were having a good season, Bournemouth, up until the 2nd of February, where they've only won 3 games between now and the rest of the season. So they were obviously doing very, very well in terms of the league table, but gradually fell off as sort of like time went on. So yeah, he's done very well. He's done very, very well in his first season. We're going to progress another year now, just to see if his value can increase up even more, if he can get some more goals for the national team, help keep Bournemouth in the Premier League again. You never know, he might even get a move soon. At the moment, let's have a look. Is he tracked by anyone? He's not wanted by anyone, but you never know. If he continues to score at this rate, someone else may come in for him. But as I said, I'll just see you guys in a few seconds where we have a look to see how Benik has done in his 2nd season. So we're into the second season now with Benik Afobe. Let's see how he is progressing now. So his value has gone down slightly. He was at 9 million beforehand, but he's now at 8.75. He has earned himself a new contract. In terms of the league then, he hasn't played as many games as he did the season before, probably because Callum Wilson has been the main striker, possibly. Not too sure, but we'll have a little bit of a look into that. He's got 11 goals in 28 games. 28 games in total for Bournemouth. So less than last season. He hasn't got any assists. He did get a Player of the Match award, which on a couple of occasions as well. His average rating has gone down ever so slightly, but I mean ever so slightly. Now, as I said, 11 goals in total, 3 for the national team and 2 on a non-competitive basis as well. In terms of his actual stats, things are progressing quite nicely. He's doing okay. I wouldn't say he's setting the world alight by any means. His composure's now gone up, his strength has gone up again, his off the ball has improved, his pace and acceleration is more or less the same. Now, he is wanted by a club. Let's see if we can try and click on that. He's wanted by Stoke. So whether or not something will happen with that, we'll have to wait and see. If we try and type in Bournemouth now and see how they got on. So they finished in 14th place in the league. So not quite as good as last time, but they've still managed to survive, which is the main thing. So Benik Afobe is going to continue to play Premier League football. So as he's wanted by Stoke, where have they finished? They finished 16th, actually below Bournemouth. So that'll be interesting to see whether or not a move does come off of that. Brendan Rodgers is now the Bournemouth manager. In terms of the actual squad itself then, how has he been doing? Wow, he's actually the top goal scorer with 11 goals. So, although he hasn't played as many games, he's been the main focal point for Bournemouth. Now, that would indicate to me, no, okay, maybe not. Callum Wilson has just not been playing much. I would imagine he's been injured. For the other side of things, in terms of other cup competitions, they got to the 4th round this time of the Capital One Cup. This time being knocked out by Tottenham Hotspur, who we're currently managing on the game. In terms of the FA Cup, they took Man United to a 4th round replay where he didn't actually score in the first leg. But yeah, so 4th round replay, unfortunately losing out on that. But again, you can see here, their end of season form has been absolutely appalling. 3 games from February onwards again. It's exactly the same as what happened last time. They're really just like, the squad is doing well and playing at an okay level, but the form at the end of the season has just been absolutely shocking. But they have survived, which is the main thing. And in terms of, as I said, a career for Benik Afobe now, he is going to be continuing to play Premier League football. It'll be interesting because I'm going to continue one more year on this to see whether or not that move to Stoke actually materialises, whether or not anything comes of that, or whether or not he will be continuing to play, be playing at Stoke. So as I said, I'll see you in a few seconds' time where we see how he's got on in his 3rd season. So we're back for the 3rd and final part of this FM experiment. We're trying to see how Benik Afobe would do if he, if he has now joined Bournemouth on a £10 million deal. So let's just see if we can try and track whereabouts he's at now. So he's still with Bournemouth. The value again has gone down, but again his contract has gone up ever so slightly. He's now at the age of 25 years old. Let's see how he's done in terms of his stats so far this season, or at the end of this season. So he scored 7 goals in the Premier League again. In 23 starts, 7 from the sub bench. He's done better for his national team. He scored 11 goals in 6 appearances for them. So he's done very, very well on an international point. But in terms of a club level for Bournemouth, hasn't been the best of seasons for him. His average rating has gone down again. So you'll be able to see from the tally here that his goals and ratio, average rating rather, has gone down year by year. Now, whether or not that's because he's not getting as much game time, I mean, yeah, 23 appearances isn't an awful lot, but you still expect 7 goals. It is not really enough for a player of some of these stats. I mean, 15 at finishing and first touch. His dribbling's at 14. He's got good acceleration. His physical side of things is really good. His composure's at 14. Determination 17. Off the ball 13. So he's got some really good stats. Bournemouth this season have finished 12th. So again, he'll continue to get Premier League football no matter sort of what happened maybe after the series. So although he only scored 7, he's still the joint second top goal scorer for Bournemouth. So that would indicate to me that they're not scoring enough goals to really supply him with. I mean, Callum Wilson himself has only got 12 goals this season. So Bournemouth as a whole haven't done amazingly. He's wanted again. He's still wanted by Stoke. I don't know, maybe that move would have re-energized his career, but he's 25 years old. He's still got a good few years ahead of him. He hasn't done amazingly, but he's done okay. For Bournemouth themselves, again, let's have a look. They got knocked out of the Capital One at the third round against West Ham. They went out in, again, a fourth round replay, this time against Stoke. Again, the end of season run has not been good for Bournemouth. They picked up enough wins to just about keep them in the league. As I said, they're doing okay, but in terms of how Benik Afobe is doing, I'd say it started off well, but it has gone downhill. I think personally on this, he needs a move in order to re-energise his career. But as I said, for the national team, 20 goals and 24 appearances is a very, very good return ratio. He just needs to have a bit more going for him in terms of at a club level. I've just noticed on here he has played in the African Cup of Nations qualifying matches, so he has spent quite a bit of time away on international duty. But again, the majority of the squad will, because you're in the Premier League, so that really shouldn't have a bearing on it. But he's done okay. So if any Bournemouth fans are watching at this, he'll have a good impact for you, but gradually he will sort of decline. Well, Football Manager says, not me. Football Manager says this. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this football experiment. It's something I see a lot of YouTubers doing, and I just thought I'd give it a go just to see what the general reaction would be like. If it is something you've enjoyed, please let me know either in the comment section, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, or just let me know on Twitter. All of my information's in the link below. As I said, it'd be really, really appreciated just to see if people want this to sort of continue, whether or not this can be something that runs alongside the normal FM episodes that I produce. But as I said, again, thank you for taking the time if you've watched it. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and until next time, adios.